Hello out there, boys and girls, and all you beautiful people. It's ScrubYugioh here, coming at you with my second video of the week. Staying true to my word like I didn't even know was possible. I just didn't want to leave you guys hanging on the edge of your seat for the last 3 days. Like, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, what is ScrubYugioh even about? What's he talking about? How do I play the game? Please tell me. Well, guys, the suspense is over. I'm about to keep that promise train rolling for you and teach you about the legendary format we are creating that is ScrubYugioh, baby. Okay, so there's 3 rules you got to follow. You're probably thinking like, oh, new rules? Nah, guys, we're all the regular mechanics are still applying here. We're not breaking any game rules. We're not starting with double life points or getting any double normal summons per turn or any of that jazz. Just scrap that thought. It's all the same. Let's just hop into it already with rule number 1, no ban lists. So for now, let's just throw the ban list out the window. There's lots of fun cards on there. Yes, there's traditional play format if you want to play with the ban list, but no, this is not going to be that. I know there's tons of broken cards on there, and you don't want people to take advantage of them, so this is kind of an ethics-based rules. I want you to try to use cards that would work well with your deck instead of just putting one of every broken card in. Like, I don't want Delinquent Duos, Pot of Greeds, Graceful Charities, all this stuff, but I mean, maybe you could put a couple of them in. It'd probably be fun. Okay, so rule number 2, it's going to be archetype free. So yes, archetypes consist of thousands of the cards that exist in the game, and I'm not saying don't use them. You can totally still use them. Just don't make your deck molded solely for the purpose of that archetype. So like, there's probably like 20 ancient gear cards. Don't put one of each ancient gear card in your deck, because then you just have an ancient gear deck. And that's pretty much going to segue into my rule number 3: 1 copy of every card. In ScrubYugioh, everything is limited to 1, except for cards that specifically work in 3s. Like speaking of ancient gears, you could actually play Ancient Gear, but that card's garbage. But yeah, other examples are like Nimble Mamanga, Hydrogeddon, Spell Power Grasp, stuff like that. With these rules in place, your deck will be a lot less consistent. Where normally you would run cards in 3 so you draw into them often, now you're left with a full 40 mismatched cards, forcing you to have a lot of different plays instead of just one sole purpose. This slows the game down to a really fun level and forces everyone to get a lot more creative. For any competitive players out there that might be listening, this is often how I come across dank tech cards that might actually be useful, depending on what the meta is shaped like, of course. So try it out and maybe have some fun, and maybe you could actually learn something for down the road. So now you're probably thinking like, dude, there's thousands of cards in the game. How am I supposed to pick? Which makes sense because there's a lot of cards out here. But I mean, if you stick with me for a couple more minutes, let's hop over to Dueling Book, the place where all scrubs go to play. Everybody knows that. And I'll show you where I start, and maybe you can use my knowledge to your advantage and get ahead of the game, Okay, so the card I'm going to choose to build the deck around right now is Giant Rex. 2k beater, and he's got that DD Scout plane effect where if he's banished, you can special summon him back. Immediately, Gold Sark comes to mind, as it banishes a card from a deck for 2 turns, and then you get it to your hand. So if you get Gold Sark, you can pretty much get the free special summon, and that's pretty cool. Not to mention Gold Sark can help with consistency issues if you're running a 40 card deck, where it is slow enough to actually maybe be effective. Another card that works really well with Gold Sark is Necroface. Yeah, Necroface, that's his name. If this card's banished, both players banish the top 5 cards from their deck. That can actually work effectively with Giant Rex if you do happen to get lucky and have him in the top 5 cards. Get the free special summon. Necroface, a card I always like to run with Necroface, and we maybe will keep it and we maybe won't. Let's go Dark Arm Dragon. As he banishes from the graveyard to pop a card, you can then banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck with Necroface's effect. So we'll slap him on in there. And now we're kind of thinking, okay, what else do we got going on with these banish effects? If you're going to be banishing cards from the top of your deck with Necroface, what else can work? So this is why Dueling Book is good, because you can actually search by description. So I'll type in this card is banished and see what comes up. First card looks interesting. This is a new one. I've read this before. Balancer Lord. You can pay 1,000 for an extra Cyberse normal summon, and if he's banished, then you can special summon a monster from your hand. And that's pretty good. So we'll throw him in there, and now we have another option to work with, right? He's light. We got darks. Maybe we can throw in a little bit more chaos. Throw in a little more Cyberse. Dot Scraper also gets summoned when it's banished, so that works pretty well. What other Cyberse cards are there? let's throw in Cyburst Wizard. He's going to keep up that light aspect, and he's just a good beater, and he can kind of get around stuff by switching it to defense mode, do a little pierce damage. And that's kind of what ScrubYugioh is about, kind of just working with what you got, you know? And it could be a good play. So we'll keep him there for now. Nothing's permanent here, nothing's permanent. This guy's really sweet, this Cyburst gadget. So this looks like a nice little Cyburst core now. 4 cards seems like enough to me. When this guy's summoned, you can summon a level 1 or 2 from your graveyard. So that actually looks like it can kind of go into a synchro plays. So let's look at level 2 and 1 tuners. For the 2, let's pick Red Resonator because it is the best level 2 tuner in my opinion. And for level 1, let's go with Spore because it's a fantastic level 1 tuner. And now we have the ability to throw in some plants. So what kind of plants do we want? Let's grab this Baboon. Is that how you say that? Because this card actually works around that rule of breaking 3s because it can summon itself, and it adds a lot of consistency to the deck because when it's destroyed, you get to draw a card, put a card from your hand back in the deck, and summons 2 more copies of itself, which is badass. So now we got this plant thing going on. We have a level 2, 1 tuner, nice 1-card synchro play. This card can actually help out pretty nicely with getting the Dark Armed as well, so maybe we will keep Dark Armed in because he is Dark type, and if you open with one of them in your first hand, which I think if you run 3 copies in a 40-card deck and you're drawing 5 cards, I think that's like 30% chance that you're going to draw it. So with that 30% chance you're going to draw it, and you get to dig a little bit with its effect on destruction, and it summons copies of itself. Thinning your deck and stuff. I'm not sure what the odds are, but it seems like a pretty good chance that you might get that Dark Arm Dragon in there and get that quick Dark Arm at the start of the duel. And that other plant type stuff. Let's look at plant type support. Okay, guys, so this is a sweet tuner I just found. Twilight Rose Knight. This will work really well in the deck. We can special summon a plant and go for rank 3 XYZ plays, or go for synchro plays, which seems pretty sweet. Okay, so we're starting to slow down a little bit here as we're filling up our monsters, and we look around. And you start to try to find stuff to work with. So Red Resonator, he's fire. You know, there's not really fire gods. Let's not work with that. I think we're good on the Cyburst. Maybe good on the plant. Maybe we go look up more plant stuff. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, check out this guy, the Predaplant Climb Sundew. I'm not saying that right, but I don't care. This card looks sweet. First of all, I really like the art on it. So you can pretty much just fusion summon this card and another dark monster on the field, aka Twilight Rose Knight, and then you can go into this Predaplant Chimera or Aphlasia, which, and this is going to blow your mind, guys, when this card is destroyed, or actually just sent to the graveyard, you can add a fusion card. And let's forget about that ban list again here, because we're going full force into this Dimension Fusion, which summons back all banished monsters. So that actually comes full circle into what we were talking about earlier. And this is the kind of synergy I love in these kind of decks, man. This is crazy that we just actually worked this out right on the spot. You can banish with the Necroface, top 5 cards of your deck, and end up Dimension Fusioning to get a whole, full board back, which is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, your opponent will be able to, too, but, I mean, that's the kind of just madness that comes with ScrubYugioh, It's a risk you gotta take. Okay, fast forwarding just a little bit for you guys, so you don't have to hear my step-by-step process. We got this Evil Swarm Salamandra. Twice per turn, you banish a monster from your graveyard, he gains 300 attack. That'll work really well with Necroface, and of course, Giant Rex. So you can banish the Giant Rex to special summon it, have a 2150 beater and a 20 beater, or better yet, we're just gonna hop on into Evilsaur Logia, and this is this perfect dinosaur synergy I didn't even know existed in the deck, in a ScrubYugioh deck. It's pretty cool actually. I'm into that. This new card over Tex Qualtus, he can actually search for an evolution pill card when he's sent to the graveyard. So we're gonna be sending him to the graveyard with cards like Graceful Charity or Foolish Burial. And then you get the search. Obviously, double evolution pill is the way to go, and double evolution pill can end up summoning your ultimate conductor Tyranno. Ultimate conductor Tyranno, I think most of us know it has good synergy with Giant Rex, as they are both dinosaurs, and I feel like they would be run in an actual deck together. So you banish 2 dinosaurs to summon them, and then Giant Rex could special summon himself back, which is pretty sweet. And then the double evolution pill, if you're summoning Conductor Tyranno, he's going to be able to ignore the summoning conditions on his summon, and that'll get over Tex Qualtus out as well. And I am a little uneasy keeping the Coldus in, just because you don't actually have a second way of summoning him, like he would be dead in the hand. I'm going to keep him in just for that gimmicky evolution pill search. Another card I thought was pretty rad. We're going to stick with the Blue Rose Dragon just because of the Black Rose Dragon working well with the plant, its actual second effect besides field bombing. So that'll work pretty cool. Maybe just revive Black Rose in the duel. Level 4 Vanilla Tuner, Plant Beater, seem to have some synergy, so I'll take it. Crane Crane, just because, you know, when I hear Crane Crane, I think Crane Crane plants. Bring back your level 3 Boa Baboons, and go into rank 3 plays, so we can go into Leviair and summon back a monster that was banished. Another thing to help with banishing, we got Soul Release to disrupt your opponent's graveyard and maybe help gain momentum for yourself as well, grabbing extra normal summons or special summons. So that's pretty fun, or maybe just evening out the numbers so you can get your Dark Arm Dragon out. That'll work pretty well as well. The spell and traps, I mean, they're pretty much just up to, there's a couple that will work with the monsters really well, but I just went really quick on here. Mark of the Rose, kind of snatch steal your opponent's monster by banishing a plant from your grave. We talked about the double Evo. Rank Up Magic, the 7th one. This card's actually, it's pretty gimmicky, but it's so cool, and it works really well because of the Boa Baboons. So if it is dead in your hand in your first hand, you get that Boa Baboon, shuffle it back in, draw another card. We're doing banishing, so Angel Zera might actually work alright as a level 8 Synchro monster, and that's something else I want to talk about. Try to make your extra deck diverse, have level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know. Don't just put in like 4 level 7s just to cover your bases. This is an extra deck. Obviously, we have 5 more slots to fill up whatever we want. But it does work alright. We got Starving Venom in here now as well, just in case we don't want to do the Chimera Rafflesia. So we can kind of do the Clima Sundew. Oh, how the fuck do you say that? Clamido Sundew. And I know these Predaplants, their names are all based off of actual plants, I think. So they're trying to like make them puns, but that just does not flow right in the English language. Got Dangerous Machine for troll factors here. DD Dynamite in case you do get Necro Face Off like twice in a duel, or Soul Release as well. You could do like some big damage with DD Dynamite, and it might just be fun to keep that. And that's you can do that in ScrubYugioh. Swamp Mirror becomes a 18 beater that can be any type or attribute. So I mean that might actually work with the Giant Rex and Salamandra here, just to get out Logi a little bit more often. And this is just something I want to talk about. Like, try to include your hobbies here, guys. Like, you're playing with your favorite cards. Maybe you like dancing. Put in that double passe. I'm not going to judge you here. You like trolling people? This is the place to do it. Grab that transmission gear. Run it in 3s. Yeah, guys. Obviously, this was done pretty quick, but I could see myself having some fun with this deck. It'd be pretty fun to test it out. So, if any of you guys online are seeing this deck and you're like, hey, that sounds like a fun challenge. You should come, send me a message on YouTube. We can arrange a duel, and I'll record the video, post it for you guys, and let's make ScrubYugioh a new format here. Another thing I want to add, just to let you guys know, is if you don't know where to start with your favorite cards. Giant Rex is not my favorite card, but I thought it was cool. Anything that you think would be a really good combo piece, because if you haven't noticed, that's kind of what the deck is about, finding those little 1-2 card plays. Feel free to get a hold of me on here, and we can have ourselves a little duel. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to us, and I'll put up some more videos, hopefully with some duels. Catch you guys later.